So, do either of you, are either of you genealogists? Have either of you done genealogy research?
Through friends. Like a friend of mine has done some genealogy research, but I need to do more, and I want to do more, but I haven't.
I haven't, other than what my mother told me, and what she told me was that my grandmother's mother was a full-blooded Delaware Indian, and that's what she knew.
So we have a family story of a full-blooded Delaware Indian, and that would be the line that we traced, your mother's 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 line, and then Lori's working on hers.
Right. Well, I knew that my mother's mother was adopted and that she was of mixed race, but there's kind of one of those families where you don't really talk about that kind of stuff, so I don't know.
All right, well, this is actually a very unique situation. Normally when we do these reveals, our results follow the percentages that I laid up for you on the presentation, but we have two very special and unique women with us in the Philadelphia community. We actually traced, and I told them ahead of time so they know the answer, because it's just a policy of ours to let people know when it's not African. And for Lori, we traced her maternal ancestry and found European ancestry in Europe, in the populations that are like Scandinavia, Finland, that kind of area in Europe. And for Dr. Taylor, the same thing happened. We found European ancestry for her maternal line. And yours was actually found among a group called haplogroup H. And that's really a scientific term that maybe Dr. Day can explain. I never do a good job. But nearly 50% of Europeans belong to this macro group of lineages called haplogroup H. So it's very hard for us to say where exactly in Europe her ancestry, what exact country her ancestry was found. So I'd like to welcome you to the African Ancestry family. These are your results.
Thank you.
And these are your results. And I'd be interested if you'd like to share your reactions. I'll tell you my reaction. When I saw it yesterday, I got Dr. Taylor's result, and I called Dr. Kittles, and I was like, are you sure? Are you positive? We're going to do this, she's the president of RX for Brown Skin, and we have to really be sure when we tell her this. And he gets so mad when I do that, because he obviously knows what he's doing. He's like, bye, Gene, I gotta go. But, and so I called her, and I was like, could you give me a call? I need to talk to you before tomorrow. And I was holding out. I was like, okay, hopefully we'll get Lori's results. Hopefully, it'll be Nigeria. She'll be my cousin. We'll play some Nigerian music. And we actually did hers in 2 weeks, which is very, very quick turnaround for us. And part of our team was on vacation. I called him. He analyzed your sequence last night from his vacation. And Dr. Kittle sent me the results today at 1 o'clock, and it said Europe. And I was like, are you kidding me? I didn't call him this time, though, because I didn't want to get in trouble. So I called Lori, and so I actually am glad in a sense, because I think it's important to see that we share, our ancestry comes from all over. My maternal grandfather's line is Portuguese. So, we come from a mixture of people, and in Lori's case, I think it confirms what she knew about her grandmother being adopted and being biracial. It's just now we know that it was because her mother was European, most likely, and her father was something else. But so those were my reactions. Would you care to share how you felt about them?
Well, I agreed to do this because I wanted to know what part of Africa my ancestors were from. So, needless to say, I was very surprised, and my first thought was, are you sure? I didn't say that to you, but when I thought about it, especially those of us who self-identify as African American, we know we have quite a mixed ancestry. I mean, there's a little bit of everything in us, so I think that sort of confirmed that for me. And fortunately, my husband told me he's going to keep me.
Very good. And she was very gracious when I told her, sometimes people get these results and it is extremely disappointing for them. I mean, to the point where they call and they berate me, you know, you have sent me the wrong results. We had a guy actually from this area. I don't know if I'll ever meet him in person, but he was about 73 at the time.
I'm not gonna lie, I was hurt. My feelings were hurt because I thought, you know, this is gonna be very exciting. I agreed to do it because my father and I, who he's now 74, have been talking about just finding out more about our history and, you know, where our family has come from. And so, I mean, honestly, when you said it's not African, it's European, I was like, what? No! But I appreciate it. I called my dad immediately when we got off the phone, and he was laughing at me because I was so devastated. Because I've always identified like I can be strong because of everything that our ancestors have, you know, come through and endured. And so, but like you said, it doesn't mean you're not African American. It just means that that particular line came from somewhere else. And what it did was it just made me more curious. Like now I want my dad to do the test so I can find his line. And really, so he can test for generations to come. So I appreciate it. But it's interesting. The more information, the more power. So thank you.
And I too share the view that I can't wait to get a kit from my father so that maybe I can finally find out where in Africa my ancestors are from.
Thank you all. I appreciate you all for being such willing participants. It was our honor to find your roots wherever they lie. And we certainly have test kits. I brought some with me. I have brochures.